In football history, there have been betrayals which we thought could not be beaten. Mauro Icardi and Maxi Lopez were at the top of that list with their betrayal, followed closely by Wayne Bridge and John Terry. More so John Terry and Mauro Icardi in those situations. However, there is a betrayal in football that I do not think can be beaten. You guys in your thousands commented on the last video saying just one thing: Ryan Giggs and RHODRI Giggs. Ryan Giggs is one of the greatest ever players to play in the Premier League. Giggs won the Premier League 13 times, FA Cup 4 times, and made 632 appearances in his Premier League career. He also got 162 assists, which is the most assists by any player. Ryan was also a Champions League winner twice with Manchester United and scored one of the best solo goals in football history. If you're doing a top 10 list in the Premier League history, Ryan Giggs is in there. He is quite simply a Manchester United legend on and off the pitch, and was always massively respected. That was until June 2011. 8 years ago, time flies, but what was happening in 2011? Google Plus launched to rival Facebook. Yep, that went well. Prince William married Kate Middleton in one of the most watched weddings in the history of humanity. There were riots throughout the entire UK, and Sergio Aguero joined Manchester City for £25 million. What a player he became. 2011 was a very fast-paced year, and things started to heat up at the halfway point in 2011 at the Giggs household, or shall we say Giggs households. It was the 6th of June 2011, and the Giggs family got word of a story that even beat the achievement of Ryan's career. The UK's largest newspapers reported that Ryan Giggs and NATASHA Giggs, the wife of his brother RHODRI Giggs, had an affair lasting over an 8-year period. Ryan had an affair with his brother's wife. Can we just let that sink in? Just putting it out there. I've got 2 biological brothers, 4 stepbrothers. You just don't go there, man. It's family. It's unbelievable. Anyway, how did this happen? The affair between Ryan and NATASHA, the wife of RHODRI, allegedly began in the summer of 2003, the same year when she met RHODRI. It lasted until June of 2011, and the lengths they went to with this affair was slightly outrageous. NATASHA was an estate agent, and that meant having access to many properties in the area. This is NATASHA Giggs explaining the intricate details of the affair with Ryan on national television.
We met in hotels. I worked as an estate agent, so I had access to properties. It would meet in various properties at different times.
So you'd have houses that you're about to show, and you'd say, listen, there's a house up the road.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You've just viewed a house with the estate agent who happens to be NATASHA Giggs, the sister-in-law of the famous footballer Ryan Giggs. You leave the house and you head back home. You then drive back to the property to have a second look. As you get to the house and to the driveway, there's a very expensive car outside, and to be honest, it looks a bit like a footballer's car. It's probably a Bentley or a Mercedes AMG, so something outrageous. But then Ryan Giggs gets out. You can't believe what you're seeing, and Giggs heads into the house. Your future house. What is going on? You can see NATASHA still in the house with Ryan, and they both close the curtains in the lounge. I mean, you just cannot script this. NATASHA and Ryan would regularly meet in hotels and also go on secret holidays together. What's even crazier about this affair, guys, and this massive family saga, is that RHODRI and NATASHA had a baby together, yet the affair carried on years after. We all thought Ryan Giggs was having the dream career as a footballer, winning every trophy imaginable with one of the biggest football clubs. Travelling the world every pre-season, earning fantastic wages every week. As awesome as that sounds, Ryan Giggs was leading a double life. Ryan would come home from training, go on Rightmove and look for vacant properties NATASHA had access to, or something along those lines. RHODRI Giggs had suspicions of the affair after Manchester United won the league title in 2008 after a fallout with NATASHA. That year was obviously a big disappointment to all Liverpool fans. United won the league title. I'm pretty sure they won the Champions League that year, I think, against Chelsea. Yeah, that was not a good year for us, really. A text came through after RHODRI and Natasha had that fallout that described Natasha as looking hot, and RHODRI questioned Natasha only to pass it off as nothing. Fast forward to June 2011 and a terrible wake-up call had to happen. RHODRI heard the doorbell ring. It was 6 AM in the morning. He went to the door and he was immensely surprised to see that Natasha's mum and sister were both at his house that early in the morning. His gut feeling told him something had happened. They handed RHODRI the newspaper at 6 AM in the morning on the 6th of June 2011, and the headline simply read on the front page, "Ryan Giggs has shameful 8-year affair with brother's wife." RHODRI straight away called his brother Ryan, only for Ryan Giggs to deny that the affair had taken place. He then admitted that it did take place over an 8-year period the following day over the phone. Can you imagine for a second? You've just found out that your wife has been unfaithful in the worst possible way, but to find out the news from a newspaper that was given to you by your wife's mum and sister at 6 AM in the morning. What happened here, man? This is so ridiculous. More importantly, Natasha did not tell RHODRI to his face. She went to the newspapers first, and these papers, I mean, literally the biggest newspapers in the country. Papers like the Daily Mirror, the Guardian, Metro newspaper, which is one of the biggest papers in London. I won't name the other paper because they're twats, but you can probably guess what that paper is. But it goes to show every paper was covering this massive Ryan Giggs story. And then obviously it got on TV the same day. It was on Good Morning Britain. It was everywhere. RHODRI's wife Natasha had taken the kids away to Spain the day prior to the breaking news, and obviously it was to avoid the shit show that was about to happen. Natasha also switched her phone off with RHODRI trying to call her, and Ryan was actually coincidentally in Spain at the exact same period as Natasha. Both their phones switched off. RHODRI did state live on TV that Natasha did alert the newspapers with the news of the situation of the affair with Ryan Giggs due to money, and that's it. That's what he said. Not telling your own husband that, come on. Not only that, another huge bombshell happened when Natasha told RHODRI that she was carrying Ryan's child. RHODRI did surprisingly say on ITV that he did feel sorry for his brother Ryan, as he had the perfect life, the perfect wife, the perfect family, yet he was not happy with his life. This affair saga between Ryan Giggs, Natasha Giggs and RHODRI Giggs is one of the worst betrayals that I think we've all seen in the history of football. RHODRI, to his credit, did star in his own advert with Bet365 all about loyalty, and it was actually a very, very funny advert, to be fair. It went down really well with fans, so that was cool to see. This has been a mini documentary about one of the craziest betrayals you've ever seen in football. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. Let me know in the comments which story shall we cover next in football. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.